According to music legend Quincy Jones, one of Marlon Brando's homosexual trysts was with comedian legend Richard Pryor in the 1970s. Jones made the claim in a controversial interview with Volta in 2018, and his assertion was later confirmed by Pryor's own widow, Jennifer Lee. After coming out as bisexual in 2010 and then marrying actor Stephen Moyer that same year, True Blood and X-Men actress Anna PAQUIN experienced some backlash from the LGBTQ community. In response, she said of her bisexuality, "I am a happily married woman and I married a man. I don't think that negates that aspect of my life." Accordingly, PAQUIN hasn't let anyone or anything stop her from speaking her mind about LGBTQ issues. As she told Cosmopolitan in 2014, "The reason I feel like it's important to talk about this stuff is that the more normal and frankly mundane and boring this stuff becomes, I think the better it's going to be for everyone who is part of our community." Long before directing movies like Precious or co-creating Fox Empire, Lee Daniels was a young gay man coming to terms with his homosexuality while growing up in Philadelphia. Long before directing movies like Precious or co-creating Fox Empire, Lee Daniels was a young gay man coming to terms with his homosexuality while growing up in Philadelphia. As Daniels told The Hollywood Reporter in 2017, his father once threw him in a trash can after he came down the stairs wearing high heels, a scene that Empire fans may find familiar. The director's struggle will continue throughout the 80s as his friends began dying from AIDS. In fact, Daniel considers it as a miracle from God that he never contracted the deadly virus himself. Due to her liberal use of gay slurs on Twitter and in her lyrics, singer AZEALIA faced accusations of homophobia in 2015. Hoping to quash the controversy, Banks came out as bisexual that same year, adding that nearly all of her friends are gay and that one of her siblings is transgender. Hailing from a conservative upbringing just outside Atlanta, Georgia, rapper Lil Nas X knew he was going to take the secret of his sexuality to his grave. When he was 19, Lil Nas became a superstar thanks to his hit Old Town Road. He discovered his superstardom also made him a hero among the queer community. Today, he has embraced his role as a representative and icon for LGBTQ. Janelle Monáe presented herself as an enigma when she first burst out on the scenes in 2010 with her debut album, The Android. What she presented to the world was exactly that, an immaculate android, or an alien from outer space, the cyber girl without a face. But as the world began to get to know Monáe through her music, androgynous style, and prog-pop music, she let the world in on who the human is underneath. Originally, she identified as bisexual, but now aligns as queer as she continues to learn about topics like pansexuality and how they resonate with her. Panic at the Disco frontman, Brandon Urie, is, as he puts it, attracted to just people. The singer has been an advocate of the LGBTQ community and officially came out in 2018 as pansexual. He told Pink News, "Yeah, I guess you could qualify me as pansexual because I really don't care," he said, referring to gender. That same month, he donated $1 million to GLSEN, which stands for Gay, Lesbian and Straight Education Network, that works to create inclusive and safe environments in schools. Many people fell for Andrew Scott when they got to know him as the hot priest in the British comedy series Fleabag. For Scott, his LGBTQ moment of fame wasn't about coming out to the masses. He's been out for a while. What got the media's attention was his distaste at being referred to as openly gay. He told GQ magazine during an interview, "You're never really described as openly gay at a party. This is my openly gay friend Darren. She's openly Irish. It implies a defiance. I don't feel." While his most notable role of the last few years being put gay front and center stage, actor Lee Pace was not always as forthcoming about his sexuality. The actor, who played Joe Pitt in Angels in America on Broadway, came out every time he performed as his character. It wasn't until 2018, however, that he came out to the public as himself, Lee Pace. In an interview with the New York Times, he made it clear that his decision to keep quiet was to draw boundaries, that the public knew him as an actor who plays roles, and that's all that should matter. Pace was not always met with the most welcoming circumstances. While he admits he was never outright scorned for being gay, there have been instances where he felt he was more of a hindrance than just a fact that he shouldn't matter. He told the New York Times, "Once you say those words and the sky doesn't fall down or the earth doesn't open up, a lightning bolt doesn't zap you, you really can't be anything." Jason Mraz is all about the wordplay, though he doesn't mince words when it comes to his sexuality. The recording artist officially came out as bisexual in 2018 after admitting that it was hard for him to do so given his conservative upbringing. With the support of his now wife, however, Mraz has fully embraced all sides of his sexuality and has celebrated how easy it was for him to be honest about who he is with the rest of the world. Not all heroes wear capes, but Tessa Thompson certainly does, especially for the LGBTQ community. She won hearts with her role as Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok. But it was in Thor Love and Thunder that Marvel gave her an explicit LGBTQ storyline, a first for the brand, which made Thompson an icon not only for women, but the LGBTQ community too. Rebecca Black skyrocketed to notoriety back in 2011 with the launch of her song Friday, which wasn't exactly met warmly. She came out on Amy Oldman and Jack Dogg's podcast, Dating Straight, saying, "I made like a conscious decision not to come out, but people started asking and I stopped responding. I'm still in the process, it feels like." ALIA SHAWKAT won the hearts of many fans as the sardonic envelope-pushing Maybe on Arrested Development. Today, she's a filmmaker in her own right, following the debut of Dark Butter, which premiered in 2018. It follows the story of LA-based 20-somethings Neymar and Sergio, who over the course of 24 hours fall in and out of love with each other. Vulture called the film a queer utopia, which is exactly what SHAWKAT, who is bisexual in real life, and the other director Miguel Arteta had envisioned. Annie Clark, aka St. Vincent, expanded her creative resume in 2020 with her on-screen debut in The Nowhere Inn. The film, which debuted at Sundance Film Festival, is about Clark's onstage persona, St. Vincent, as told from the perspective of her fellow musician and ex-girlfriend, Carrie Brownstein. The mockumentary is all about satire and will resonate strongly with those who vibe well with Portlandia, Brownstein's other claim to fame. In 2002, Vanessa Carlton sang her way into superstardom with her hit, 1,000 Miles. This song was nominated for a Grammy that year. Then in 2020, Carlton made another debut. She revealed at Nashville Pride that she's a proud bisexual, though she revealed she's just been part of the queer community since she was 13 years old after moving to New York. As she's gotten older, she's confessed to the George's Voice, a media source for LGBTQ Georgia, that pop stardom wasn't really the path she wanted to follow. Today, her songs are less about pleasing the pop gods and are more evocative to the type of music she wants to be known for. Something that is soothing, emotional, and deeply rooted in personal experience. "2020 was a breakout year for recording artist HALSEY, but it didn't have anything to do with her coming out. She's been out for years, as evidenced by the rainbow flag that is omnipresent at her concerts. In 2020, HALSEY reclaimed the stage in a manner of speaking. She said that she has felt like she's been playing a supporting role in her own life, and her album, Manic is about to take back the spotlight. Jim Parsons may forever be known as the acerbic yet lovable Sheldon Cooper, a role he mastered over 12 years to the tune of 4 Emmys. But as of late, he has become a public champion for the LGBTQ community. Following the end of The Big Bang Theory, Parsons has moved into more of a producer's role and more recently worked on the docu-series Equal, which is based on the history of the LGBTQ movements. In addition to being a brazen funny man, Billy Eichner uses his vocal volume to fight for LGBTQ rights. He frequently tries to rally his millions of followers to be more politically active. This is according to Variety. He's also a huge proponent of developing more relatable characters for gay people in the media. He told Variety that while watching Love, Simon, a love story with a gay protagonist, he realized straight people go to the movies and literally see themselves all the time. It was so unusual to have a connection to what was happening on screen instead of being a step or two removed. Ben Platt is a force to be reckoned with and is not slowing down anytime soon. Platt, who is a Tony winner, former cast member of Pitch Perfect, and current star of Netflix series The Politician, is lighting in a bottle. Unlike many gay actors, Platt was one of the few who has more or less always been out in the public. He told Variety, "There was never like a gung-ho of let's come out as soon as possible, because no matter how forward-thinking we all get, it becomes an obstacle a little bit in the case of auditioning, producers and casting and directors. Hopefully, we are moving a bit beyond that." Recording artist Sam Smith is a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community, having been one of the few celebrities to identify as non-binary. The pop star decided to adopt the pronouns they or them, not he or him, in 2019. The singer is known for their soulful voice and records hits like Lay Me Down, Stay With Me, Too Good at Goodbyes, among others. When they made the non-binary announcement on Instagram, Smith said, "I understand there will be many mistakes and misgendering, but all I ask is you please try. I hope you can see me like I see myself now. Thank you." Jamila Jamil is a British actress known for her role in the comedy with Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. While you won't be seeing Jamil's face on The Good Place anymore, you can hear her voice on her podcast, I Weigh, which promotes the idea that people, women in particular, should be weighed by their achievements. Jamil also came out as queer in February 2020, which was met with a considerable amount of backlash, seeing as she had been in a 5-year relationship with musician James Blake. She told The Guardian that she had not come out before because she was worried that people would think she was jumping on a trendy bandwagon. She also said that she understood the pushback. What she disagrees with, however, is that people seem to think that she's lying about her identity. Well, that's a weird lie, she said. When it comes to owning her sexuality, Demi Lovato is above all things sorry not sorry. The sexually fluid performing artist came out in 2017 saying that that's just who she was and who she has always been. An advocate for LGBTQ rights, she told Andy Cohen on Radio Andy, Sirius XM show, that telling her parents was emotional, but that her family's reaction could not have been more supportive. Ariana Grande has been a controversial figure in the LGBTQ community ever since her song Monopoly came out in 2019. For many people, it raised the question of whether or not the pop star herself was bisexual, while others criticized her for queer baiting, which is when celebrities drop subtle hints at identifying somewhere on the LGBTQ spectrum in order to attract that fan base. When asked about the song, whose lyrics say, "I like women and men," Grande replied on Twitter, "I haven't labeled myself before, I still don't feel the need to now, which is okay." The Matrix made household names of LANA and LILLY Wachowski, who are both transgender. After The Matrix, They go on to explore gender and identity in more sci-fi projects like Cloud Atlas and Sense8. Many of the ideas Lily and I explored 20 years ago about our reality are even more relevant now, Lana told Variety. I'm very happy to have these characters back in my life and grateful for another chance to work with my brilliant friends. That brings us to the end of this series of celebrities who are LGBTQ that you probably didn't know about. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more informative content in future.